What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more punk, some more ska-punk. We're going to listen to some more Voodoo Glow Skulls. I think, just one reaction, maybe it was two. But I really haven't reacted to these guys enough, given how much, I've enjoyed listening to them over the years. I mentioned it in the first video I did, which I think was Closet Monster on this same album, Firme, which I think is 95. Do I have that right? Yeah, 95. Which, incidentally, I think 1 year later, they put out a Spanish version of the album, Spanish language version of Firme. And indeed, they're, I believe, Mexican-American brothers, three of them, as it started. Now, one of them, the lead singer, Frank, has since left the band. It was about a decade ago, actually. I think like 2012, something like that. But for a long time, from their inception, I think the late 80s, up until, I think, about 2010, 2012, three brothers were sort of the foundation of the band, Frank, Eddie, and Jorge, I believe. And again, now Frank is no longer in the group, and Efraim Alvarez of Manic Hispanic and Death by Stereo has taken over the mic duties in the group, and they're awesome still. Like, I haven't started reacting to it yet, but that's an album, Live in the Apocalypse. I think it came out 2020 or maybe 2019. Basically, it's a pretty recent album. It's fantastic, so we'll get to that one eventually, but I do want to kind of go through where I started with them, which is this album, Firme. Eventually, I got Baile de los Locos, but I actually don't have that disc anymore. I don't know what happened. I have the case, but yeah, the disc has vanished, so at some point I'm going to have to replace that, but currently I'm not able to react to that one. But I also did want to mention, I've always loved the sort of lowrider hubcap look for the CD. It's fantastic. As well as the sort of, Spinal Tap guys playing in a ska band on the back. Do love that Day of the Dead theme. But yeah, we're going to listen to Trouble Walking, a song that sort of makes reference to the drunken shenanigans. And, there's a couple Voodoo Glow Skull songs that reference sort of like intoxication and drunken shenanigans. So, I think at this point the band was definitely having fun when they were drinking together and so on. But the best thing I can do here is basically give an anecdote when it comes to the lyrics on this one. Which is to say, I had this album, but as I've mentioned before, like oftentimes, even going way back to when I was a kid, when I would get a new album, a new cassette tape, like if you go back far enough, or CDs, or eventually records, I try to like engage with the music as directly as possible, meaning I don't try to like flip through and read everything in the booklet, lyrics and background and all that, before I start listening. Now, don't get me wrong, I do eventually sort of, try to do a deep dive, and especially if I really like it, it's like, oh, maybe there's one line I can't hear it. Nope, I gotta know what he's saying, so I gotta look it up in the lyrics. But originally, I do just try to go through the album, fresh, without too much, like, prior context. And I think I had done that when I got this album, which, came out in 95, I was already listening to punk and ska. I probably got it, maybe not right away, but maybe like 96 or 97, because definitely by my junior year in high school, which would have been 97, 98, I had this album. So yeah, I think I probably got it like 96, maybe 97. But the point is, I remember when I listened to this song, it's like, it's the name of the song is Trouble Walking, but like, it didn't, there's a part of the chorus where he's saying, I'm having trouble walking, but the way it sounded, I swore to my life he was saying, I'm moving to Milwaukee, and this mystified me. I was like, it's a song about how they're like relocating to Milwaukee, like what? So then a friend of mine, also very much into a lot of punk and ska bands, and specifically like ska-punk groups, we were both like big fans of Operation Ivy. I remember he was like, no, it's not moving to Milwaukee, it's Jabberwocky, which also is very incorrect. And then like eventually, like a few years later, like I think I was like, just thumbing through the lyrics for the booklet for a different reason, and I was like, oh my god, they're saying Trouble Walking. Of course they're saying trouble, like what the fuck? But it was like ridiculous, because for like a full year or so, I thought he was saying I'm moving to Milwaukee, and my friend thought he was saying Jabberwocky, and of course he's saying none of those things. So yeah, when you're a teenager, sometimes you're just dumb. So that's what that came down to. But it like amused me to no end when it finally was like this stupid revelation. They're like, oh wait, he's just saying I'm having trouble walking. So yeah, I don't know why it was so silly, but like now, like when I talk to that friend of mine, every once in a while that will come up and just like, bro, so you moving to Milwaukee? He's like, yeah, what about you and Jabberwocky? So yeah, here we go. This is Voodoo Glow Skulls. I'm having trouble walking. Or not, it's not I'm having, it's just literally trouble walking. So yeah, Voodoo Glow Skulls, 1995 album Firme, and this is Trouble Walking. I only saw them one time in concert, but it was a madhouse. I mean, like, come on. The first time you hear this, how much of the lyrics are you catching? Just give me another drink. Wait for it. Oh wait, one more verse, I think. And then we get the chorus. Yeah. He's moving to Milwaukee, surely. I mean, tell me it doesn't sound like that now that I've put that in your head. Oh. Get out of here with that solo. Is it Jorge on the drums? I'm trying to remember. Whoever the drummer is, like, you gotta have like stamina to drum that fast, that consistently. I like the tempo shift coming up. I always love that moment. Clearly. Some like, please, a Wisconsin-based punk band, can you cover this but change the chorus overtly to I'm moving to Milwaukee, because I feel like this needs to happen. But yeah, that's an incredible song. I despite the silliness about the lyrics, I think it does showcase a lot of what they do well, like tempo shifts, wicked intensity and speed. Frank's like, rapid fire, low like register, but rapid fire vocal delivery. Yeah, and then you got that, like, it's on the edge of that kind of ska punk feeling. There's not so many horns in this one. They have other songs where the horns are a lot more prominent. But yeah, ultimately, I think the song does showcase a lot of what they do well. So yeah, if you're a fan of the Voodoo Glow Skulls, let me know. If there's a different album that you're even fonder of, do let me know. As I said, I have 3 of them. Yeah, because I should have 4. Again, Baile de los Locos has somehow vanished. At some point I'll get it replaced, but I do have the last album with Frank in the band, which is Southern California Street Music. And shout out to people who are in Southern California. But yeah, and then I have the Livin' the Apocalypse album, which I think, as I said, is 2020. At the earliest, it's like 2018. I think it may be 2019. But yeah, and as I said, Ephraim Alvarez is the singer by that point. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if there's another tune on this album you'd like to hear a reaction to. Other than that, thank you for listening and watching. I will see you next time.